Hi, my name is Hanna Ellington, and I'm a sophomore honors journalism and political science student here at the University of Arkansas. The artwork I have chosen to research is Bleecker Street, Saturday Night by John Sloan. The piece of art is located in the Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art in Bentonville, Arkansas. Bleecker Street, Saturday Night is an oil-on-canvas painting that is 26 by 32 inches. The painting depicts a few storefronts illuminated by a lamp that is off-center but is the source of almost all light in the piece. There are structural lines in the piece to create 4 buildings that vary in size and structure. More importantly, the artist utilized lines in the form of brushstrokes to create texture on almost every aspect in the image. There are people scattered throughout the image, but while realistic to human form, their details are stylized and emphasize the overall style of the painting that utilizes soft strokes and absence of harsh details. The piece has more space on the right side of the image where the buildings end and the darkness of the night takes over. The majority of activity of the painting is on the left-hand side due to illumination from the light source and conglomerates of people under the multiple buildings. The coloring of the image is the most important aspect, as the values of all colors, except the light source, are all darkened and ominous. Although it may be easy to believe that Sloan's Bleecker Street, Saturday Night depicts the real Bleecker Street in the Greenwich Village, that just may not be the case. According to the deconstruction form of artistic methodology, assumptions about artwork may not always be true, and diving deeper into the art may reveal a contradiction to initial assumptions. Without being able to travel to this exact location, the certainty of the subject matter is questioned. Let's look closer at the artist of this piece. John Sloan was born in Lock Haven, Pennsylvania in 1871. According to a biography written by Robert Torchia, he began his art career in his youth, beginning to teach himself to etch in 1889 at the age of 18. In the years that followed, he began taking art classes and started work in the art department of the Philadelphia Inquirer in 1892. Around the same time, he began studies at the Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts under the guidance of Thomas Anschutz. He eventually broke away from the academy and transferred to work at the Philadelphia Press from 1895 to 1903. In 1904, Sloan and his wife Dolly moved to New York City, where he found inspiration from many aspects of the city, painting realistic scenes of the city's various districts. John Sloan is widely regarded as an American realist, and his work of Bleecker Street, Saturday Night fits directly into that classification. Realism is a style of art in which artists seek to reveal scenes of real life within their artwork for the purpose of preserving it forever. American realism is a specific cross-section that produced numerous works of art that reveal what life was like for artists of various classes, races, and genders back in the early 20th century living in the United States. In addition to being an American realist, John Sloan was considered a key member of the Ashcan artists. Ashcan artists were an informal group of people who were part of the realism movement but focused on depicting the major immigration scene and swells of poverty in New York City in the 1900s. Artists of the school include fellow Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts student and Sloan's good friend, Robert Henry, William James Glackens, George Lukes, Everett Shinn, and John Sloan himself. This school can be recognized for its dark palette with gestural brushwork, but avoided subjects of social conflict and the difficult lives of the lower classes, according to H. Barbara Weinberg in their article about Ashcan artists. Bleecker Street, Saturday Night is a prime example of the Ashcan style. Europe was an important catapult for the Ashcan artists, with their refusal to follow the rules of previous Impressionism and Post-Impressionism that dominated Europe in Victorian era. They took the idea of Impressionism and transformed it into something new, unique, and ultimately their own. Because of their transformation of the artistic style, they, quote, paved the way for Cubist, Expressionists, and other realists, according to Souter. The Ashcan artists not only changed the way for themselves, but they transformed the style for future artists to follow and make their own as well. I selected this piece to analyze because I've always been a fan of dark and mysterious artwork. The piece, which at first seemed simple, takes dissecting and investigation to notice and understand all the parts that lie within. Realism is one of my favorite art styles because it's interesting to know how the world changes and how the style of art can give us a glimpse into the past, even before cameras existed. Though it's subject to interpretation by the artist, it still provides later generations with evidence to how the past was and how it has changed. It shows us just how much things can change over time and how eventually, the photos and images created from our time spent here will be so unfeasible to someone in a later generation.